Hello, my friends. Today we are going to read a very nice story about a family in Brazil. Now, the title is Maria Celebrates Brazil. Look at the photo. What can you see? Now, in short stories, this is called illustration. Okay? The drawings are called illustrations and they make the events, I mean, what happens in the story, they make the events clear for the reader. Now, the essential question is how are families around the world the same and different? Okay? Now, of course, sometimes families all over the world are the same. For example, most of them have loving and caring parents, right? And uh, have like good kids who respect their parents, fine. But sometimes the families might be different all over the world. Now, some families live in the city while others live in the country, in villages, fine. Some families work like in a business, for example, while some others work in farming. Think about some differences and some similarities between families in the world. Right, we are going to begin reading the story, and I want you to know that the beginning of each story tells us about the characters, and the characters are people or animals in the story. Also, the beginning tells us about the setting of the story, which means place, the place that the story takes place, the event takes place, and the timing of the story. This is the setting, so it's place and time. Let's see it. Maria and her family are in their bright hot kitchen. Please, Mai, por favor, Maria begs. Now you might have noticed that my and por favor aren't English. Yeah, that's right. Mai speaks Portuguese. This is the language of Brazil. No matter how much you beg or plead, you must go to practice. The parade is next week. So we get to know the characters, the father, the mother, and Maria. And the beginning of the story tells us about the setting, which is time and place. And here we know the time, which is the kitchen family. Also, the beginning of the story might tell us about the problem of the story, which we call it conflict. And here, the problem is that the girl doesn't want to go to practice for the parade. Now, look at the highlighted word language. Now, language is something that people use to communicate and to speak. Fine? Language. For example, in Brazil, they speak Portuguese. In Saudi Arabia, they speak Arabic. In the whole Arab world, the official language is Arabic. And look here, some like words in Portuguese. My means mother, and por favor means if you please, please, okay? And here, plead, the other highlighted word, it means almost the same as beg. If you plead for something, fine, you want this to be like offered to you. You ask for something. Look at the illustration here. Now you can see that the girl is upset. It's not fair, says Maria in English. Now she means, I don't like that. I don't like the way you deal with me. Mai does not know a lot of English. Maria is surprised when she asks, what is not fair about going to practice? You must do the right thing. Anna invited me to her house, Maria answers. I want to go. Now we know the reason why Maria doesn't want to go to practice. It's because Anna, her friend, asked her to come to her house or asked her to go to her house. Anna invited me to her house, Maria answers. I want to go. Now the father is trying to talk to his daughter. Fine. Pi says, Maria, the parade is important. People from around the world come to see it. They try our food, see how we dress and how we live. It is a chance for us to share our culture. And share means to give away something or part of something that you have. Like when you share your food with your friends, you give them some of it. And culture here means the way people in a country live. Maybe the way or the houses they live in, how they look like, their clothing, uh, their style of life. All of these talk about culture. Now Maria says, I know, but I really want to see Anna, says Maria. Pi says, Maria, you can see Anna another time. They're giving out costumes at practice today, and costumes are special clothes. Maria thinks about her father's words. Pi is right. She and the other children have worked hard for a year. They practiced their dance steps over and over. They even made their own bright, colorful costumes. And look, here you can see Maria thinking about the efforts she and her friends made. You're right, Maria says to her father. I'll go to practice. I'll tell Anna I cannot visit her. 1 week passes. Lots of people line the streets. The children in Maria's group are wearing their sparkling costumes, their shiny costumes. They know each dance step. They dance to the beat. Look at the illustration here. Now you can see two girls enjoying the parade, and you can see this woman, maybe a journalist working for a newspaper, taking a nice picture of them. Right. What can you see in the illustration here? Yes, the parade. Fine. The crowd moves aside, which means moves away, as they make their way down the street. When the crowd moves away, Maria sees a woman with a camera, the journalist that we spoke about. She is hurrying. The woman scurries by Maria, which means moves fast. Scurries means moves fast. She puts her camera to her eye. Maria smiles from ear to ear, which means Maria is having a very big smile. She is excited to be in the parade. Click! And this is the sound the camera makes. The woman takes a picture of Maria. Maria is proud of her hard work. Now, my friends, think about the ending of the story. Does the story have a sad ending or a happy ending? Yes, you are right. Is a very happy ending. My friends, in order for you to understand any story very, very well, you have to visualize, which means imagine events, imagine the things that are happening in the story. When you visualize, you see you use the author's words to form pictures in your mind about the story. This is very important. You must form pictures in your mind. about the events. You must imagine what's happening. Now, the story that we read is a realistic fiction, and this means that although the events are made up, but they can happen in real life, fine. I mean, such a conversation between the members of the family can happen in any family. Fine, this is realistic fiction. Uh, Now, but what is different is when you read a story where a bear, for example, is driving a truck. This is not realistic. This is pure fiction, which means it can never happen in real life. Okay? Now, each story like this has a beginning, middle, and end. Maria Celebrates Brazil is a realistic fiction story. The characters, setting, and events are made up, but they could happen. They could really happen. A realistic fiction story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Fine. Character, setting, events. And as I told you before, character or characters are the people in the story. And if the story is about animals, it's the animals in the story. Setting means the time and place of the story. And events are the things that happen in the story. A character is a person or an animal in a story. The setting of a story tells when and where a story takes place. The events are what happens. Right, dear friends, this is our story for today. I wish you loved it. Thank you.